Welcome to another edition of Shee Cooks. Today I'm making lunch for a dear friend of mine called Kathy. She is going to come here. She's a great lover of African food, so I'm going to make Kathy banku. Banku is Kathy's favorite food, but I am not sure what to accompany it with. So I'm going to make about 3 different sauces and stuff she can use to eat the banku, so she can decide which one she likes. So to start with, I'm going to make my okra. I'm going to use this lamb. This is lamb. I'm going to use this lamb for my okra, and then we are going to use obviously some grated okra, some palm oil, some tomatoes, some onions. Not this palm oil, this is for something else, and then a few other ingredients here. We call this wele. This is cow skin. We have some smoked fish and some dry fish, etc., etc. So we are now going to make our okra soup. So to start with, I like to fry my okra when I'm making okra soup. Is this little trick that a Nigerian friend of mine taught me. You just add the palm oil and the okra and a little bit of onions, and then you just fry them together for a while. It makes it come together. Also, it just sort of cooks before you even put anything else into it. So I'm just going to start with that. While that happens, I'm going to cut up my cow skin. It's called wele. That's how we all know it's us. So we are going to steam it a little bit so that it gets its own flavor. We are going to add a little bit of obviously spices and stuff to it. It's usually very bland. It doesn't have any taste of its own. So you want to, when I'm ready to cook them, I'll just cut these real quick. I like how when you cut them, they become little circles. We have enough, not too much. Okay, just a little bit more. I like using wele in my okra. Okra without wele is sort of incomplete for me. I'm just going to bring that here and just pack it in there. Add a little bit of my ginger garlic paste. Very nice. Nice for everything you make. A little bit of salt. And then I have some beef seasoning. It is cow skin, so it's still technically beef. I'm just going to add a little bit of hot water and let it boil for a little while. Okay, just going to put this here. And I'm going to add a little bit of hot water. Coat it, and then I'm just going to leave it to boil. You always need to have hot water handy when you're cooking. It's very important. It just helps to make the cooking process faster. Okay, so now we are going to fry our okra. I'm going to take our palm oil. Use as much as you like. Palm oil is quite healthy. Just going to add first. I'm going to turn these onions in. Oh, that's hot. Okay, and now I'm going to add my okra. The oil is already hot. Usually I would just leave it to simmer for a little while, but the oil is very hot. It's hot oil. It has a very high boiling temperature. If you don't work fast, it can always burn. It's very nice and soft, has a nice fragrance. Okay, I'm just gonna add a touch of my paste here. It makes everything smell better. I just realized I don't quite like it. So The ginger garlic onion paste is in. It smells much better now. I'm now going to add my okra, like so. You don't want it to splash. We don't want any accidents. Okay. Just put it on the side. This is where you have to keep stirring. Do not take your eyes off it for a minute. If you do, it will burn. You need to fry this for about, say, 3 minutes, depending on how hot your fire is. Not so hot, so it's going to cook through very nicely. When it's hot, what happens is, it starts burning even before it gets anywhere. Just going to leave this for a little while. We are going to need to use we are going to need to use smoked fish, so I'm just going to start just sort of see how that comes out. You just press the tip. This is all I did. Press the tip and it just slides out. Very easy. That's with the tail. And then just, it's very easy. Sort of like a jacket, just comes apart on its own. And then we're just going to great, nice and juicy. Okay, so we're just going to clear all of this away. I need for my workspace to be very clean, so I'm just going to mop all of this up. It's very messy. Just all of that. Just sort of. Now we are going to check on our okra. It's still frying. This is actually just like cooking, except there's no water in there. Cow skin is also very nicely done. You don't need to boil it for a very long time. For some reason, it seems it's already boiled. It seems already cooked, so you don't need to cook it for a very long time. Just a few minutes on the fire and it's ready. Continue stirring. We're going to add half a teaspoon of pepper, more if you want it to be spicier. We are going to add some salt, just a little bit of salt. Continue stirring. See how thick that is? It's very. The reason I'm doing this is I want there to be some kind of, crunchiness to the okra when I'm done, because I really don't like flat okra. I feel like when we make okra soup, it's always this flat thing where it's really cooked through and it's not very nice. I like it when I can chew something when I'm eating okra, and that is why I'm frying it. In frying it, you don't really cook it through like you would when you're boiling it, except, it cooks, but then it also has a crunch. Tomato puree, not much. This doesn't require a lot of tomato. I get that this is a bit of a deviation from how we make okra, but then that's why we are here. We are here to learn new things. If you try out a recipe and it works well, you have to share it with the world. You know how all those awesome recipes came into being. Someone tried them and it worked. So we are going to keep experimenting with our recipes. This looks good. You can use some fish powder, but I am using a little bit of fish sauce. You can get this in any supermarket. It's very salty. You have to be very careful when you use fish sauce. I think it's a Chinese condiment. I used it once, I liked it, and now I'm stuck to it. Pretty much the same as using like shredded fish or shrimp, those shrimp powders, etc. This looks very nice. I'm now going to turn in my cooked cow skin. See how nice and spiralized they are. That is how I like to cut my my willy. Call it willy. If you go to buy it anywhere, if you don't say willy, no one is going to be able to help you. Don't go and say, oh, Sheeta said, oh, I need to get some cow skin. Okay. Last one. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Look at the colors. I like using palm oil. It just makes everything so much more beautiful. Okay, now we can add our smoked fish. Don't break it up into little pieces. I don't know why people would do that. You want it to be in there, like another source of protein. You don't want to completely break it down. Okay, I'm just going to reduce the heat and leave it on for a little while. While I do that, I'm just going to work on my my main protein that I'm going to add to it. I mean, this would be enough. I mean, if you are if you like, I just feel like this is lamb, very, very soft lamb. This is very juicy when you cook it. I used it to cook groundnut soup a while back and I completely fell in love with it. I think it's called a lamb shank. You can get it at the supermarket. I'm not sure you can get it at the market because, you know, they might not get the time to cut out a shank for you, but it's juicy. For light soups, for all kinds of soup. It kind of has this buttery flavor. If you use it, especially for groundnut soup, you're going to enjoy it very much. So I'm just going to cut this up. This is some sort of a butcher job. Okay, just gonna remove the fleshy part. Ooh, more butchering. This is not very sharp. It's not doing the job. Okay. I need another knife. All right. You need a knife to remove the skin. When you have impossible bones to cut through like this, all you need to do is remove your goodies and then you can leave the rest. Since it refuses to be used, so, see, like so. Remove that, remove all the good parts. Otherwise, what you're gonna have is this huge bone that you can't even enjoy. Okay. So now you can just split it in two, if you can. Okay. This is one of those impossible bones too. So slice through. Be careful with your hands. Always be careful with your hands. You just nicely slice. See? Away from the bone. That way, even if you do decide to throw away the bones, you're not wasting a lot of meat. Okay? Get out all the goodies. So let me see. Let's see if this will work. These I just get bony meat for soup because it gives it a lot of flavor. I mean, Need it. Let's try it again. Okay, just going to take another bone out. Just so we don't waste the meat. Great, so I'm just going to increase it as high as possible and just scoop these in. Garlic, ginger, onion mixture. Salt. Not much, you don't need to season it much because it's going into something. Then we can just the balance. So we will add a touch of lamb seasoning. I have some water. Just a little bit. You want to steam it, not cook it. See the nice pink of that. It's almost ready. So we're just going to move it here. Bring back our nice okra. Just going to let it simmer a little, and then we are just going to just a few minutes, 1 minute at the most. Just turn all of this into it. Very gently fold it all in. This is very good. Smells so good, looks so good, very appetizing. All right. I'm tempted to say there's too much meat in the soup, but there's never too much meat in the soup. Africans love their meat. As much in the pot as possible is always advisable. Ooh. Just a few more minutes and we'll be ready to go. Just going to taste it. We haven't added any salt because there was some fish sauce somewhere, and we added some salt to the meat that we cooked. So you don't want to over salt it. This is perfect. We haven't added any salt, but it's perfect. This tastes so good. I am not exaggerating. So what is happening here is that you have the crunch of the okra. You haven't cooked it too long. What you've done is fried it, so you have this crunchy okra. You can literally chew the okra through, when you're eating the soup. You can add a little bit of spinach, or any other green leaf that you want. I just like my okra, without anything else. So if you like, you can add some spinach. If you like, you can add some local contomere as well. You can add some western spinach actually, and then you can add water leaf. There are all kinds of leaves that you can use for this. This looks just about done. Smells wonderful. Looks even better. So I'm just gonna keep stirring this for a few more minutes. We'll be right back.